Hi guys, so today we're going to talk a little bit about hacking into mesh topology and really not caring about what's happening too much. I think Beto, the creator of this model here, was saying to me as I was demonstrating some of the tools, don't fear the future is really the saying in topology. So we're going to go over a bit about how we can make a fairly ordinary model into something that looks pretty cool just by hacking into the mesh really fast. So here's the final result that we're sort of going to go towards. I'm not going to show everything, we're just going to go in parts and just show you the main styles that I'm using. Now this model is by one of my students, Beto, and he came to me at first with a fairly ordinary looking model. He just hacked it together very quickly, and this is sort of what it looked like at first. And no offense to Beto, he's a great modeler, he's made some nice models before, but this is just sort of his starting point. So here we have a fairly ordinary mesh built very quickly of the character that he wanted. So what I did with him is we sort of went through some hacking through the topology tutorials and just getting a topology that's going to work a little bit better for animated characters. And we sort of ended up with this version, just with a bit of demonstrating. So we're just hacking into the model, getting our loops working and all this sort of stuff. There's still a lot of mess happening in our meshes and things like that, as you can see in this stage. But we do have like a lot of radial topology starting to happen around our mouth, around our eyes, and we're starting to get some nice topology flowing through the face here. If we compare that to the previous version where we've really got not much happening in that area and nothing happening in the eyebrows. Now after this phase here, just while I mention it too, at this phase we sort of went through a lot of models on the internet and we just started to think about what our model wants to look like. And what I actually requested Beto to do is to actually draw out this model in a bit more detail and really figure out what he wanted. So the next week he came back and he sort of drew up these quick sketches. Beto's a talented artist, so he can draw quite well. And he came up with these beautiful sketches of the front and the side view of his character and how he wanted that character to look. Now we've made this bright green in the alpha channel just so that we can distinguish between the models and what's actually happening. And as you can see, I switched the polygons back on. We sort of came in and he stretched this model out to fit the rough proportions of his front and side view. So you can see very quickly, just with a bit of pushing and pulling of points, we can get to something that's, you know, fairly ordinary looking basic model to something that's looking quite cartoony straight away quite quickly, just with that existing same topology. We haven't changed the topology at all between these two models, we're just moving around the points. And that's what we sort of came up with. So let's have a look at this. Still got a bit of a rubbish topology. We're filling in a few areas here, but pretty much the model is much the same as what it was when it came in. So there you go. Now at this stage we sort of just want to tweak some of our points. If we go to the whole version of this model, you can see what's happening here is that just a lot of our points are just not very well placed. So we're going to go through and just smooth up this model and place the vertices in a bit nicer fashion. We're going to fix up some of these loops and continue them so that it all flows nicely, especially this cheek area and the mouth, fill in the mouth a little bit more. But you know, this stage with this mesh we can get a pretty nice result just by placing the vertices properly. So then we get to this version, which is really pretty much a finished version. You could definitely do a little bit more work on it, but this is sort of the end result. As we can see, we'll go between these two. So there's the two meshes together, and we can see that, you know, obviously there's a lot more topology being put into the mouth and things like that, but the face and that sort of stuff is really, there's not like that much difference in the meshes. We've just definitely tweaked out a lot of this back here and got that looking really nice, put a little bit more detail into the ears and things like that. Now that's pretty much a finished model if we just put on some skin textures and a bit of nice lighting with some shadows here. This is sort of a nice model that we've got, and it's pretty much ready to go once we model the inside of the mouth and things like that, give us some eyebrows and a hat and whatnot. So, you know, going back to the front view, here we go. We just put on the guides here. You can see we're not hitting it exactly, but you know, we're in the ballpark of what he originally was thinking with his model. So now I'm just in the following video is going to show you guys how to go about some of these stages and tweak and cut and hack and slash into our mesh, and we'll see how we go.